Hello everyone and welcome to the Literacy Center Science tutorial today. This is Meghna and today we are going to talk about Sun and Moon. So let's dive in. In our previous tutorials, we learned about the objects that we see in the universe, for example, planets, asteroids, and black holes. In this tutorial, we will be talking about Sun and the Moon. So let's talk about the Sun first. Do you think Earth is the most important spot in the solar system? Well, think again. The Sun is the real star of the show, literally. The closest star to Earth, it's the source of all the heat and light. Life wouldn't exist without it. It's also the center of our solar system and by far its largest object. More than 1 million Earths would fit inside the Sun. The Sun is a star, the only one we can see during the daytime. When we look into the night sky, we see endless dots of light. Every one of them is a star, just like our Sun. Despite its importance in the grand scheme of things, the Sun is not unique or particularly complex. It's average in size and middle aged compared to the billions of other stars in our galaxy. And although the Sun accounts for 99.8% of the total mass of the solar system, it's really just a big ball of gas. The hydrogen is packed in tightly at the core. Great pressure squeezes the hydrogen, causing it to change into helium. A process called nuclear fusion converts hydrogen to helium deep in the Sun's core, where temperatures hit a balmy 18 million degree Fahrenheit, that is 15.7 million degrees Celsius. This process releases huge amounts of energy. Every second the sun changes or burns, more than 600 million tons of hydrogen fuel into helium. Fusion creates energy that travels to the sun's surface in a journey that lasts 1 million years. Like the core, the surface of the sun is also made of gases. The surface temperature is about 10,000 Fahrenheit, that is 6,000 degrees Celsius. Sometimes cooler, darker patches called sunspots appear on the surface. Sunspots appear and disappear in 11 year cycle. Interesting, isn't it? The sun has been shining for at least 4 billion years. It is now mostly hydrogen with some helium. Billion of years in the future, sun will use up all its hydrogen fuel and eventually it will stop shining. So let's talk about moon now. The moon is a large natural object that orbits or travels around Earth. After the sun, it is the brightest object in the sky. The average distance between the moon and Earth is about 238,900 miles. Compared to the distance between other planets and Earth, this distance is small. In fact, the moon is close enough to affect the level of seas on Earth. The moon is slightly more than 1/4 the size of Earth. Its diameter or distance through its center is about 2,200 miles. That is 3,500 kilometers. The moon is made mostly of rock. The surface has thousands of pits called craters. The craters form when chunks of rock and metal called meteorites crash into the moon. During the daytime, when the moon faces the sun, its surface temperature averages about 225 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 107 degrees Celsius. However, at night the temperature drops to about minus 243 degrees Fahrenheit, that is minus 153 degrees centigrade. In 1966, Luna 9, a spacecraft, from the Soviet Union became the first unmanned craft to successfully land on the moon. In 1969, the US Apollo 11 craft carried the first people, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin Jr., to walk on the moon. 10 other astronauts have walked on the moon since then. Let me share some interesting facts with you about the sun and the moon. So, what do we know about the sun? The sun's gravity is what keeps the Earth and other planets that make the solar system in orbit around it. The sun accounts for 99.8% of the mass of our solar system. The sun is the largest object in our solar system. However, its size is average compared to other stars. The sun emits different kinds of electromagnetic radiations. Visible light, ultraviolet rays, and infrared rays make up 99% of those radiations. It is one interesting fact that the sun is classified as a G-type main sequence star officially. NASA launched the Parker Solar Probe to study the sun. This probe will get 7 times closer to the sun than previous missions. And what interesting facts we know about the moon? The moon has an axis for its rotation. It takes about 27 days for the moon to rotate on its axis. The moon is spinning around the earth, but when we see from down the earth, it appears to be still. The moon is the one and the only satellite of the earth. In the solar system, it is the fifth largest moon. 12 men have stepped on the moon. The fascinating fact is all were American males. An astronaut footprint or any other mark can last for millions of years on the moon. There is no water and wind present on the moon. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, but interestingly, it is 400 times closer to the earth than the sun. The first aircraft to land on the moon was Luna 1 in 1956. After Luna 1, Luna 2 in 1959 was the first probe to reach the moon. So if you have any questions or if you need any help with the subject or with the tutorial, you can text us or you can email us and we will get back to you. Thank you.